So, David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. It's really not a book of, gentle suggestions. Think of it more like a field manual for mental warfare. But the war is against yourself. The big question is, how do you actually build a mind that's truly unbreakable? Well, let's open up his toolkit and find out.
Okay, this right here. This single idea is the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. It's a direct challenge to that voice. You know, the one in your head that screams at you to just stop? But see, for Goggins, that voice isn't a stop sign at all. It's the starting gun. Yeah, so that's exactly what this is all about. We're not just going to tell you his life story. We're going to deconstruct his toolkit. We're breaking down the exact methods he used to tap into that other 60%, so you can see how to start unlocking your own.
All right, but to really understand the man, you got to understand the mountain he had to climb. See, Goggins wasn't just born some kind of warrior. No way. His incredible strength, it was forged in the fires of some pretty profound adversity.
His foundation, it wasn't built on solid ground. It was more like a deep, dark hole. I mean, we're talking about systemic abuse, racism, poverty, even crippling learning disabilities. By his own account, he was just lost, overweight, and totally ruled by fear. This, right here, this is ground zero. So how do you even begin to climb out of a hole that deep? Well, you start by forging some armor for your mind. Let's dig into the first set of essential tools Goggins created to even start that journey. And this is where it all begins. It's called the accountability mirror. And look, forget those positive affirmations. This is about radical, brutal honesty. Goggins' logic here is super simple. You can't fix what you refuse to even look at. The process itself is intensely practical. I mean, you literally stand in front of a mirror and just call yourself out on everything. No sugarcoating allowed. You voice your fears, your laziness, all your excuses. And then you plaster that same mirror with sticky notes listing your goals. It pretty much becomes your daily mental battle station. So honesty is step one, but toughness is the next. And this brings us to this idea of callousing the mind. Just think about it, right? Your hands get tough from friction and hard work. They build calluses. Well, Goggins believes your mind is no different. Pain and discomfort, they aren't roadblocks. They're basically resistance training for your spirit. And this is really the key. Every single time you push through something you really don't want to do, that workout you're dreading, that tough conversation, you are literally building another layer of mental callus. You're intentionally hardening your mind for the bigger battles down the road. Okay, so your armor is forged. But what happens when you're deep in the struggle? You know that moment when every single fiber of your being is screaming at you to just quit? That's when you need the right kind of fuel to push through that pain. This number, it's everything. This is maybe his most famous concept, the 40% rule. Just think about that moment when your mind screams that you are completely done, that you have absolutely nothing left in the tank. Goggins argues that at that exact point, you've only used about 40% of your true capability. It's kind of crazy, but most of us operate in that first 40% our entire lives, completely unaware of this massive reservoir of strength just waiting for us on the other side of that pain. You see, for most of us, pain is a signal to stop, right? But for Goggins, it's a signal that you're in exactly the right place. He teaches that real growth only ever happens at the point of resistance. So instead of running away from suffering, you actually have to learn to lean into it. So how do you actually do that? Well, he used something he calls the cookie jar. And no, this isn't about actual treats. It's a mental bank, a collection of your toughest moments and your greatest victories. It's a whole collection of all the times you overcame something, persevered, and succeeded when you really thought you couldn't. So, when you're facing a new wall, you mentally reach into that jar. You pull out a memory, maybe a time you crushed a final exam, or you finished a race you didn't think you could, or you just got through a really tough time. And that memory, it isn't just a nice thought. It's proof. It is fuel. It reminds your brain, hey, I've been here before, I can do this again. Okay, so you've learned how to start, and you've learned how to endure. This final part, this is all about what it takes to live there, to master the mindset of continuous growth. You could say this is the view from the summit. And this leads to probably his most intense concept, taking souls. Now, I know it sounds aggressive, but it's not really about dominating other people. It's about dominating the idea of what's possible, both in their minds and, more importantly, in your own.
The idea is you push so hard that your effort alone just shatters expectations and proves to yourself that your limits were basically a fiction all along. And the engine that drives all of this? It is not motivation. Goggins is crystal clear on this. Motivation is garbage. It's totally unreliable. It comes, it goes. Discipline, on the other hand, that's what gets the job done when motivation decided to take the day off. Discipline is doing what you have to do, especially when you don't feel like it.
And ultimately, that's the real freedom he's talking about. It's freedom from your own moods, from your feelings, and from your excuses. Discipline is what gives you control over your own life.
You know, if you take away only one single thing from his entire journey, let it be this. Just look at where he started, and then look at what he became. He is the living, breathing proof that your history does not have to be your destiny.
So in the end, Can't Hurt Me is really just a direct challenge to all of us. It's a call to action, to stop living small, to stop running from pain, and to start using discomfort as the very thing that helps you grow.
Goggins took a life that was defined by pain and forged it into a testament to human will. His past, well, that's written in stone. The real question his life asks every single one of us is, what are you going to build with yours?